record. All right, everyone. Hello. Today is Tuesday, May 17th. It is approximately 2:06 and we're convening a session of the Tax Review Board. My name is Melissa Andre. I'm the Executive Director, and please be aware that this is a public hearing. It is being recorded. Because this meeting is public, participants and viewers have no expectation of privacy. By continuing to be in this meeting, you are consenting to being recorded. At this time, I'm going to give controls of the meeting to our chair, Nancy Kamerdiener. And Nancy, go for it.
Okay, great. Thank you. As has been indicated, this is the Tax Review Board hearing for May 17th, 2022. We're going to turn first to an item number 2. I believe the petitioner is in the room. This is for Choice Rentals at 1028 East Lycoming Street, last 4 digits of the docket 3157. Please identify yourself for the record.
It's not the petitioner, Nancy. It is the attorney.
Oh, my apologies.
It's okay.
It says petitioner on the screen, and I just read what was on the screen.
I understand. No, it's the
Yes. Okay. My apologies, and I didn't have a clear identification of who was here. Please identify yourself for the record in any case.
Certainly. Good afternoon, board. This is David Birnbaum on behalf of the city.
Okay. I understand you have some information for us about this item.
I do. The property was sold in November of 2021 and the balance was paid at sale. So this should be a no action needed.
Okay, great. We were unaware of that. We thank you for that information and we will mark that record accordingly. Obviously, there's nothing else we need to do at this point in time with that.
I need to concur.
confirm no action needed, please.
Paula Weiss, I concur.
Dominique Ward, I concur.
George Matthews, I concur.
And Nancy Kamerdiener, I concur. Thank you very much for coming forward today to let us know about this so that we could mark the record appropriately.
All right. Thank you, board. That concludes my business here today. May I be excused?
You certainly may. Thank you very much for
Good
coming.
to see you all again. I hope to see you soon.
Great. And really more in person at some time in the near future. We're looking forward to that with everyone.
Well, I got to catch up with Ms. Andre, so it wasn't a total loss.
Okay, fine. That's good.
Okay. Thank you so much.
It wasn't a total loss at our end either.
All right, guys, number 4 is next. I'll be putting
Okay,
them-
before that, we had number 6 marked as no action, a continued item, and want to indicate that on the record. That's for James Steele, last 4 digits, docket 2220, property at 20 South Robinson Street. So that's continued for another time, and we've actually marked it for no further continuances.
Okay, the next
Thank
person is case number 4.
Okay, number 4 is for Aisha Glover, last 4 digits, the docket 1309. The property address is 1319 McKinley Street. Welcome. We will ask you to sit as close to the computer as you can because that's where the mic is. And we'll start you out there. So please identify yourself for the record.
Aisha Glover.
Okay, can hear you, but not real well. So when you're speaking later, please do try to keep your voice up and close to the mic. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth with everything that comes before the board?
Yes.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you very much. Who has this matter for the city?
Good afternoon. If the board pleases, this is Kareem Safedine for the city.
Okay, do you have anyone else who will be testifying with you who needs to be sworn?
Ms.
No.
Height,
I'm sorry.
Please identify yourself for the record. You're muted.
Taliba.
You're muted. Please unmute there we go.
Taliba Haik with the Water Revenue Bureau Adjudications Unit.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth with everything that comes before the board?
Yes,
Okay, thank you. Do you have the numbers for the record on this?
yes. The petitioner is questioning August 29th, 2015 to August 29th, 2019. Principal amount $7,891.56, $873.96 in penalties, $121.45 in liens, totaling $8,886.97.
Can you repeat the penalty, Taliba, please? You went really fast.
I'm sorry, $800 $73.96.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Does the city have any opening comments, or should we just be turning to the petitioner?
Yes, I actually have, because I haven't been able to speak to the petitioner directly. But I would like to suggest to Ms. Glover that there actually isn't a substantive dispute here. Because Ms. Glover, you made a successful TAP application this spring, correct?
Yes,
Okay,
through
Now-
the help of the tax review board, not through the water department. I was able to get that successful application done through the tax review board. One of the ladies down here had helped me out.
mhm. Well, we work with the tax review board to make sure that people are navigating the process successfully.
Mhm.
And Danielle, who's can correct me if I'm wrong, but if I understand some recent revisions to the TAP program correctly, if you make your regular, $150-ish a month TAP payments regularly, each month that you pay on time, 1/24th of the amount that you're disputing will be forgiven. Isn't that right, Danielle?
Hello, I don't have access to my camera right now. That is being implemented. I believe the aim of that start date is July. So yes, the goal is that starting in July, 1/24th of the balance will be forgiven each month. Even if that gets pushed back, programming errors after 24 months, no matter what, as long as you've made 24 monthly payments, the entire amount is still forgiven.
Okay, so if you stick with TAP for 2 years, it all goes away. If all you have to do is pay the small amount that you can afford every month on time. And we don't have to have this hearing. So I would invite the petitioner to withdraw and resolve through TAP.
Can I ask a question?
Of course,
So the balance that I have now is a $3,000 balance, which I'm on the TAP program for. So you're saying that the whole balance of $10,000 approximately would be added to the TAP program? So that would increase the bill that I already have?
no, what I'm saying is if you keep paying your 100 whatever a month bills for 24 months,
Mhm.
the 10,000 goes away.
And that starts when? In July?
In July, yes.
Mm,
If I may explain a little bit, the TAP bill that you're currently on is based on your income. It doesn't matter how high the debt is. The debt can be 15,000, it could be 20,000. That is roped off. So that will not increase your TAP bill. Your TAP bill is only based on the income information that was provided when you did your application. And at the end of after 24 successful TAP payments of only the TAP amount, the rest is forgiven.
will I have that in writing?
It should be in your acceptance letter.
What acceptance letter? For the TAP program?
Yes.
I don't remember reading that, so I might need to be able to get that in writing before I will have to see that in writing, because this bill is actually because of a toilet running that I didn't know that the toilet increases your bill. And when I came down here the first time, I thought I was disputing the bill, but I actually just disputed the penalties. I don't have a problem with remaining on the TAP program because it does help me with my bill, and the payment amount is good. But I don't want to be on this program paying for 2 years and then they say that that wasn't implemented.
Perhaps I could, perhaps this matter might be better addressed if we were to get a short continuance to provide Ms. Glover with full information about the updated terms of the TAP program. And then she can make her decision from there in the full light of information.
That sounds like a good proposal if you're willing to accept that. And I don't imagine you'll need a very long period of time to deal with this once you have a full understanding of how this program works. And it
Yes.
sounds like you're ready and willing to be involved in having the ongoing TAP payments under the terms and conditions that were identified previously. And so I would think that once everything gets discussed this could be resolved completely, or if you were unhappy with it, you could then ask to come back for a full hearing at this board. But from the sounds of things, it should be able to be resolved. How long do you think you'll need to go through these issues with the petitioner? I'm addressing this really to the law department at this point.
That's really on her schedule, to be honest. I understand that we're already set on June calendars, so we're already looking at a July date at the earliest anyway. So whatever the board can provide, I'm sure that's enough time for us.
So it sounds like if it's going to July, we need to at least cover a continuance that goes that long. And so I would
recommend a 30-day continuance.
You think a 30 day is going to be sufficient, even
Mhm.
though he said something about timings going up through July?
Well, even if the board were to give 30 days, it would still require the board to do its earliest date.
Okay,
So-
okay, fine.
Fine.
Okay, okay, so let's poll the board. Are you in, do you concur to have a 30-day continuance here for the issues to be discussed and resolved?
Paula Weiss, I concur.
Dominique Ward, I concur.
Yes, I concur.
Okay, and Nancy Cammerdinger, I concur. So this matter is continued. I would ask that the petitioner advise us if she reaches a decision with the law department that we don't need to reschedule. If
Okay.
things break down and you want to come back to this board, of course, let us know the reverse so that we schedule at the earliest opportunity after that.
Okay, Mr. Kareem, how do I get in touch with you or you get in touch with me? How do we communicate?
Okay, so do you have email, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
Okay, can I get your email address and I will
Yes.
email you?
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to, Kareem, I'm going to give her your email.
Oh, okay, that.
Okay.
I don't want your email address, ma'am, on the public.
Oh, no.
website.
Okay, no problem. And then I'll email you, once I receive, am I gonna receive the papers through email or through the mail?
I can forward you information electronically.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And thank you very much for coming in today. It sounds like you're well on the way to getting this matter resolved in a favorable way for you going forward. And we look forward to hearing that is in fact the case and that it's being withdrawn from this board.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for coming in today.
You're welcome. Thanks again.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to go back outside just to make sure I didn't see anybody else, but perhaps someone has come in the meantime. So just 2 quick
Okay,
seconds.
so right now we have 1, 3, and 5. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Thanks everyone for your patience. It is approximately 2:20 and there is no one in our virtual waiting room and there is no one in the actual waiting room here at 100 South Broad Street on the fourth floor.
Okay, let me turn to the law department. Do you have any information on items 1, 3, or 5 on our agenda today that would
Okay.
affect our comments or decision?
Okay, so let me go. I don't have any contact with, haven't had any contact with any of these. I do
Okay.
not have any.
I was
specific.
just gonna say,
info-
why don't I take number 1 first so that it's on the record in terms of which one we're looking at? And that's John DeLeon, last 4 digits of the
Mhm.
docket 1014, property address of 3539 North 21st Street. And you were leading in to say you have had no contact, is that correct?
I have not had any contact with Mr. Delaney.
And from your standpoint, there still amounts due and owing, it has not gone away because of resolution on the dollar amounts.
That is correct.
Okay. Do we have any information in terms of activity at the board that would indicate whether or not we've had continuances or other situations that would affect the way we handle this decision?
Just that it had been continued twice at the board previously. I guess one to check something, it looks like. It's like there's a circle, but there's nothing, no real documentation about the continuances. At the master level, it was continued for an investigation. But I don't have anything else.
And how long ago was that? Can you tell from what
Well,
you're
that was a
looking at?
while ago. That was before COVID. That was in 2019.
Oh, okay.
And then it actually, this is the first listing since COVID for this case.
Okay, so we'll mark this as denied for failure to appear and leave it at that as opposed to having any further comments on it. Do I have concurrence from the other board members on that?
Paula Weiss, I concur.
Dominic Ward, I concur.
George Matthews, I concur.
Okay, and as the proposer of that, I concur as well. Item number 3 is Antonia Serrano, last 4 digits of the docket 2051. The property address is 316 Lindley Avenue. Does the city have any information on this matter that would affect our decision going forward?
I have not had any contact. Most of the amount under dispute appears to have been paid, but technically there is still some due and owing.
Okay, a minor amount, would you say?
Minor. I would call it. I would call it minor, but it is like $300. So I don't know.
Okay, so enough that they probably should have come forward to try to resolve the matter.
Yeah.
Okay. From the board standpoint, do we have any previous activity that would affect how we would identify this property?
This is the first listing since they requested a hearing, a rehearing before the board.
Okay, so denial for failure to appear without any further comment on it would probably be appropriate here. Do the board members concur?
Dominic Ward, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur.
George Matthews, I concur.
And Nancy Camerodiner as well. That leaves us with item number 5, Tennis Partners, last 4 digits of the docket 1861, property address of 5236 to 44 Belfield Avenue. Do we have any further information on this particular matter?
I have a substantial amount of information here. So this was previously before the board in one of its first post-restart hearings on August 11th, 2020, in which a representative of the petitioner appeared and the matter was continued for an investigation. I haven't had any direct contact personally, but one of the tennis partners, one of the partners, was in contact with Water Revenue, and let me check the check basis too for the exact date. On April 13th, stating that he would be coming to dispute. Additionally, the city has several procedural objections to this petition, including without limitation, res judicata, statute of limitations, and lack of jurisdiction.
Why are you already arguing res judicata?
Because it's because the bills at this property were already challenged in 2016. The period under dispute goes from roughly purchase of the property in 2007 until the petition date in, I believe, 2018. But the period from March 1st, 2008 through May 3rd, 2016 was already addressed under petition 35 WR MERZW 4130, which was denied for failure to appear before the master, and then not subsequently the petitioner did not subsequently seek rehearing or rehearing before the board for another 2 years or so. So they've shown extreme negligence in their approach to this.
So your recommendation of what we do at this point?
Our recommendation would be, the city's recommendation would be deny for failure to appear, no rehearings. No, like a reconsideration would not be considered because this has been ongoing. They've been contacting water revenue about disputing the bills in this property for almost 15 years, and they just don't show up.
I cannot confirm or deny the previous petition that was written to the record. I can go check very quickly. So just give me 2 seconds. I just want to run and go.
Okay, thank you. I'll just note while she's checking that the petition that we have before us right now, actually, well, it wasn't filed until 1/9/2019, and it lists the period as dating back to 2003, which predates the time period the city has indicated they've even had ownership rights with the property.
Yeah.
Just
So
an information observation.
yes. Additionally, for the record, the city is objecting to because the petitioner was granted consideration nunc-pro-tunc, and the city is objecting to the nunc-pro-tunc consideration on the grounds that the petitioner was well aware of all of these charges when they were issued, and has no excuse for their failure to challenge any bill more than 60 days old. So that the city is placing that objection on the record at this time.
Okay.
So I can confirm that the tax review board did have a hearing, and the hearing was on 9/16/2016. And it covered, I think, 2003 until 2016. And that was, again, denied for failure to appear. So this petition would have been granted only for everything from 16 going forward, not the previous years, as covered by the previous petition ending in 4130.
And based on that, do you have a suggestion for what we should consider here in terms of it? We do need to mark it as denied for failure to appear, but in terms of any other comments on opportunities to come back or anything like that?
I think it should be marked that no petition should be considered, will be considered on this property challenging bills predating the date of the petition, which is January 9th, 2019.
I mean, it's really on the board. Summed it up nicely.
Do you think we need to step aside to consider a decision or just mark it as denied for failure to appear, which we could do on the record? Other board members want to step aside, or do you just want, how do you want
I think we
to?
can mark it. And I think the question only becomes the issue of no further hearings. And it does seem that they have had several bites at the apple already. And I would be okay with denied for failure to appear with no further hearings granted.
But this is their first hearing on the remaining years, correct?
Well, they're actually asking for it to go back to 2003 or
Well,
2004 to the present.
we-
I understand that,
yeah.
but the petition that is before us, that's dated 1/9/2019, actually covers all that old time period as well. So
This is
would
the
need to
first
be
hearing.
distinguished.
This is the first hearing before the board since August of 2020.
But if they did have an opportunity prior to that, they were here for that period, at which point we could have limited in scope
Yes,
the time period.
yes. So if they were to come back and request a rehearing, the board's jurisdiction would only allow us to rule from 2017 or somewhere in 2016.
Past, starting right after whatever the initial hearing covered.
Yes.
I guess I'm still, unclear in whether they've already had that opportunity as well.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because if it's from 2003 to 2016, we've already denied, but the petition goes from 2003 to 2019, then those 3 years are still available. And if this is their first hearing before us, will we normally mark it no further hearings if somebody misses their first hearing?
So that's the question. I know they were here in August of 20, it was continued. Did they have an opportunity
Period.
for that?
Yeah. At this point, I would suggest that we just mark it as denied for failure to appear, leaving open the ability for them to submit a rehearing. Only on.
Let's make a
obviously-
note, however, that should they come back for a hearing and should we at that time grant that rehearing, it will be for a circumscribed period of time that's post the previous tax review board decision.
That note is made.
Mhm.
And I would concur with that.
And what do you, limit to period beginning what?
Post 2016.
Post the 2016 time that was already adjudicated,
15 or 16?
16.
Okay. I just wanted to make a note on my things, and I'm hoping and assuming that Melissa will be doing the same. And so we're marking this right now as a denied for failure to appear. Is that correct?
Correct.
And with the notation that if they come back for a further hearing, it would be limited to a much shorter period of time beginning in 2016.
If
If the board approves the rehearing, yes.
If we, yeah,
I might provide a more precise date.
Sure.
The date, the last date of the prior petition was May 3rd, 2016. So the first date that it would be disputable under under the restrictions that's been described would be May 4th, 2016.
2016.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Just to be clear, we're not granting a rehearing at this time anyway.
Correct.
Yes.
But should one be requested?
Should they requested, should it be considered, should it be approved, and all of that is hypothetical.
Correct.
Right. And but we know for a fact, based on what happened before, that we would not want to or be in a position to consider anything prior to that date. Okay. Do we have concurrence from all of the board members?
Dominic Ward concurs.
Paula Weiss, I concur.
I concur. George
And-
Matthews.
And Nancy Camerdiner as well. I thank you very much, everyone. Unless there's something that I'm unaware of that's not on today's agenda, this would conclude our activity for today. Anyone have anything that we need to cover that has not been raised?
Yeah.
Seeing no one come forward, this hearing is adjourned, and I thank everyone for their participation today.
Have a good afternoon, everybody.
Thank you,
Bye, everyone.
Have a good
Bye
one.
now.
Have a good one, everyone.